CPL match happening. We also have your secondary schools football league action. It's been 3 years since we've been to these stadia for secondary schools football, but today a doubleheader, a big one with Presentation College versus Malick Secondary. Both teams that won on the first day of play. The first day of play, which actually had over 30 goals being scored. In the second doubleheader today, St. Benedict's College going up against Carapachima East Secondary School here at the Atto Bolden Stadium, Trinidad and Tobago. This is the home of football, and this is the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division, sponsored in part by First Citizens. My name is Hans Devines, and with me, Siobhan Metivier. Now let's look at the weather before we go any further today. The weather today, it is a hot 32 degrees Celsius with a 68% humidity index and 12 km/h wind speeds. Siobhan, welcome.
Thank you. And that's right, Hans mentioned this is the first match of today's doubleheader. We have Presentation College versus Malick Secondary School. And as you know, this is the first time in 3 years since we've seen any season coming out from SSFL. And to take it back just a bit, just to recap, we had Malick finishing 12th, and then we had Presentation College finishing second. So,
well, looking back at Wednesday's results in Group A, St. Augustine fell to Naparima College 9-1. Caps East went against Speyside. Speyside took that one 5-0. St. Benedict's Fatima, that was a draw. Pleasantville Secondary went up against St. Anthony's, and St. Anthony's got the better of them in that one. In Group B, however, the match that we saw live, Sour North Secondary, the goal scoring machine 5-1. Getting it above QRC, Chaguanas North versus Malick. Malick took that one 4-1. So definitely Malick is a team to watch today. And East Mokarapo getting 5 goals to better Maruga. And yes, we are here at the Atto Bolden Stadium. What it means to be in the home of football once again, it means that football and sport is back on. We keep mentioning 2019, Siobhan. And before we step properly and further into 2022, let's take a look back at 2019 and a jump forward to where we are, courtesy First Citizens.
The last time we were here, Naparima College were crowned champions of the Premiership. They finished the season with 33 points, holding off their southern rivals, Presentation College and a passionate East Mokarapo, into second and third spots respectively. Well, it's been over 2 years and they're all back. In this new season, they are joined by newly promoted Fatima College, Maruga Secondary and Chaguanas North Secondary, who are all itching to compete. But just as there was joy for 3, there was sorrow for 2, and St. Mary's College and Trinity College Mocha now have to play the tournament of their lives to get back into the Premier Division. As in any drama, there is always a twist in the story, and in this case, it is the fact that all of these teams meet in knockout action in a few weeks, as both championship and premiership teams wrangle in an effort to dethrone current intercall title holders, the Lions of Presentation College. Not an easy task on any given day. With a new-look Premier Division, where we see 16 teams split into 2 equal groups, it lends to interesting matchups and approaches that should have us all at the edge of our seats. With teams all revved and ready to get back onto the field, we wait to see who will make their mark in the Premier Secondary Schools Football Tournament in Trinidad and Tobago.
We look forward to what's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago, and looking at the other fixtures today in terms of Group B. Maruga Secondary go up against a goal-scoring machine, Sour North Secondary. East Mokarapo Secondary play... Presentation College. Malick Secondary. Actually, Presentation College goes up against Malick Secondary. Trinity College East goes up against East Mokarapo. And QRC goes up against Chaguanas North Secondary. So we look forward to the actual fixtures today and, of course, the great results. We join on the floor Colin Murray. Colin, welcome. It's so great to have you back out here.
Yeah, man, Hans. They're kind of hot, though. I wish the sun could cool down a little bit, because it's going to be tough for the players if it keeps like this.
Definitely, and it's always an honor. But speaking of the players, let's talk about the actual format of the tournament that they're playing in this time around.
Yeah, well, you know, let me tell you first, I don't like it. I wish all the teams could meet one another, but it's not like that because of the shortened season.
Okay.
So you have it's split up into two groups, and how they came with the two groups. Group A was the winners, first, third, fifth, 7, 9, 11.
Right.
And then Group B goes second, fourth, etc. So you're not going to see, for example, in the league format, Presentation will not meet Naparima.
Okay.
Because they finish 1-2.
Right.
So Pres goes in one group, Naps in another group. So that's what I'm saying to you. I understand why they've done it.
Right.
I don't necessarily like it, but that's the format. Then at relegation time, normally you have the 3 teams that finish third to last, second to last, and last.
Right.
What's going to happen is the 2 teams that finish last in the 2 groups,
Okay.
they will automatically be relegated.
Right.
And to get the 3rd team, you've got the team that finishes third to last in Group A plays the team that finished third to last in Group B for the
Right.
playoff to see who goes down.
Well,
So it's an interesting format, but as I say, you know, it's the only thing it takes away is that all teams don't meet one another.
Ah, okay. Thank you very much, Colin. But we also look at the players. And now we got a chance to interview some of the top players of the teams in our first face-off with Presentation and Malick. These top players, Colin, last game we saw a lot of players falling down to injury, and Brent and yourself, we all talking a lot about conditioning. But these 2 young men that we're going to feature right here, one got the opportunity to play in the United States of America and the other one in St. Lucia. So let's look at 2 key players from the teams.
The world, and I honestly can't wish for anything better. The last time I played competitive football was about 4 months ago, when I was originally in the US, and then I came back here. So I'm very ecstatic because I haven't played for Presentation in quite a while. To be honest, it was very difficult, but after a few weeks we became more familiar with training, and we started to get accustomed to the hard work and dedication it is to play for Presentation College. Players didn't know the movements and the positions they were supposed to play in. But as of recently, we started to look much better, coming down closer towards the season. And yeah, we're starting to gel as a team. Everybody independently motivates themselves on this team because everybody has struggles they're going through and wants to become a professional footballer. And we intend to show everybody during this season that Presentation is one of the best schools in the Caribbean.
Excited to play in this tournament coming up, this season coming up. It will be a very hard season, seeing the teams that we will be playing. And you know, I am expecting good from each and every one in the team, because every time we come out to train, put our best foot forward and be excited to go out there and work hard for the victory. I actually played in a tournament in St. Lucia in July to August, the Free Kick Youth Cup Challenge with IBG Sporting Academy, which is in Trinidad, which is Real Betis Academy now. For me, I was able to be fit because I was doing my own work at home, but for some of the players who haven't played football in so long, it was kind of challenging. Well, the team is coming together very well, you know. We getting numbers each and every day, so the team is get together and building bond each and every day. We work very hard. In every training session, we come out and put our best foot forward. And we have players with the ability, and once we get the team together, we will surely come out and do our best in this tournament. Being the vice captain, you know, you will have a little weight on your shoulders, but you have to shake off that weight and be motivated by the people around you. Every time we come out to play, when somebody fall down, we pick them up, we tell them that we get it serious, that we go together. Let we score these goals when we playing, when we training, proper free kicks, and we talk to each other off the field. So it's kind of a bond coming together that we motivating each other each and every day.
Malachi Woodley of Malick Secondary School. Will he be able to carry the weight of his team? Will they be able to move as a unit? And will the captain of Presentation College, Caleb Boyce, be able to keep his teammates motivated? We find out when we come back to this matchup of two undefeated teams in the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools Football League. Presentation College, Malick Secondary School, here at the Atto Bolden Stadium when we come back.
Welcome here back to the Atto Bolden Stadium. Presentation College against Malick Secondary. The teams are already starting to make their way out and what should be a really entertaining game. Presentation, of course, winning their game by 1-0 against a very plucky Trinity East team. And Malick, runaway winners by 4-1, and they certainly scoring goals, so they would be very, very confident. But this is the second victory for Presentation because they won the Tiger Tanks Cup, having beaten Naprima on penalty kicks, so they will be pretty confident as well. And I would think their defense would be really confident because they've only conceded 1 goal in the 2 games, so they would be thinking that their defense is going to be hard to breach. So it's going to be a really tight game here between these two teams, Presentation College and Malick Secondary. I'm Colin Murray alongside Brent Sancho. Brent, interesting game, interesting matchup here. You're coming up against two teams who won their opening games, but Presentation, you know, it's always, you look at Presentation and they always seem difficult to beat.
They're always a difficult team, and good afternoon to all our viewers across the various platforms. And not only that, Colin, they have a strong and steep history, of course, of success within their program. Certainly today's game, as much as it is a battle of two undefeated teams, it's also a battle of the weather. It's extremely humid here in Trinidad and Tobago, here at the Atto Bolden Stadium, and the teams will obviously have to take that into consideration. We play here at the Atto Bolden Stadium, which is a very lush green surface, Colin, which is very thick, and of course that would mean that the players would have to push the ball a little bit extra harder to make sure that they can move the football around, as well as the fact that the sun and the humidity will play a factor. Nevertheless, both teams seem buoyed by their opening victory and their opening success, and I'm very sure they would want to continue along the same vein moving into this fixture.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting fixture. And you think Presentation, Brent, you would say they should start as favourites?
Yeah, Presentation is certainly the favourites as we take out the lineups here.
Yeah, well, for Malick, James, Joseph, Halls, David, Brumble, Matthews, Batiste, Woodley, Huckerson, that's the goalkeeper, Samuel and Singh. That's the starting lineup. The coach, of course, Anthony Bartholomew. Let's have a quick look at the Presentation lineup. They go with Lazarus, Worrell, Cooper, who is in fact the son of Sean Cooper, George, Young, Jones, Barclay, Jacob, Boyce, and the two Brathwaites, Malick and Micah Brathwaite, and the coach, of course, is Sean Cooper. So we're just about getting ready here for the start of this encounter between these two undefeated teams. And Presentation College, really, one has to say, they will take a lot of beating here, but they're coming up against a very, very confident Malick outfit. So it's going to be the... So here we go, as a Presentation and Malick. The ball sent high in the air. And so this is the first shot, comes a deflection. Oh, and it's in the back of the net. Well, what a start. The deflection, the shot coming there. It seemed to be the man taking the shot was Isaiah Jacob, and the deflection, the goalkeeper was beaten, going one way and into the back of the net, and really and truly, so it's the first goal for Malick here. And let's just get you the goal scorer.
Looks like
it's the skipper, Lendl Batiste for Malick. Malick, of course, in the blue. Let's quickly identify the teams, and Presentation in yellow. So what a start for Malick here. But really, you have to say, a huge slice of luck as that ball took the deflection and into the back of the net, wrong-footing the goalkeeper. But here comes Presentation. It's with Worrell, and he wins a throw for his team. But what a slice of luck, Brent.
Yeah, but if you ever talked about what you need to settle your nerves, that's exactly what you need. A very, very early goal. As he said, a lot of fortune in that one. But as the saying goes, Colin, you can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket.
That's right.
And Baptiste bought his ticket. And his ticket ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to take the shot. They backed off of him. They gave him the room, and he took the shot. And he wasn't able, and because of that, quite rightly, it just deflected and into the back of the net. Here goes Presentation. Just knocking the ball around Levi Jones. Gets it all the way back to Cody Cooper, who is, in fact, as I mentioned, the son of Sean Cooper. So this is Worrell. It's going to be a throw for Presentation as the ball came off of the Malick striker. So Malick regaining some possession. Ball going way over on the far side, but it's Young in possession. It's going to play it up towards Malick Brathwaite. This is Worrell. So Presentation now settling down after that very early goal from the first attack of the game. But here's the goal scorer, Batiste, on his way again. That's a good bit of tackling from Worrell. Sends that ball forward, looking for the skipper, Boyce. Boyce goes for the return ball. He just tried to come inside of the defender and wasn't able to do that. In the end, it was good defending, but Malick trying to get it out under some pressure since they've scored that goal, and they're coming away with it. In fact, it was Samuel, the man striking for Malick, and they get a throw-in. Looking for Batiste. Headed forward. Brathwaite. That was Micah Brathwaite. Couldn't get there. Goes through to goalkeeper Lazarus. As Presentation looking to come forward again. But Malick, they regain possession. It's a good bit of playing on the far side. Looks to be Jalon Matthews. But it's one back in the midfield by Presentation as they're going to build from the back. Bring that ball forward. That's a good looking ball and good tackle. Excellent tackle coming in there from Brumble. But Presentation now have a throw. Is the coach of Presentation, the normally cool and calm Sean Cooper. But he would have a few words to say about that early goal they've conceded. But really and truly, it can't blame anybody. It took a huge deflection.
As well as it's quite early in the game as well.
Yes,
Colin,
gives them enough time, Brent.
Gives them enough time. If they've seemed to have settled a bit in terms of what they want to do, particularly trying to build up the play through coming out the back into the build-up phase in the middle. So I do think they should be able to settle despite, of course, going one goal down, as you rightfully said. What a bit of unfortunate. You don't draw those things up in the locker room, do you? Coming out, coming in, and I'm sure Sean Cooper didn't see that coming. As you said, very, very unfortunate.
So it's going to be a free kick for Malick. They lead by 1-0. Just about 5 minutes gone in this game. That ball sent upfield looking for Batiste, the goal scorer. So it's one back here in the middle with Brathwaite, but the Boyce gives it away, trying to win back possession. Given away. Gets it in the midfield to Levi Jones. He spreads it to Young. And Young gives it away. It's won by Halls for Malick. Plays it in field to David. And this is Halls looking to play that ball forward. Under some pressure is Matthews, but he comes in field with it. And it's one back. Here is Presentation starting to come forward. This is Boyce. He's looking wide on his right, can't, so he looks back to his left, but then gives the ball away. That's a good, that ball well won here, in fact, by Malick Brathwaite. And in the end, he's committing the foul. It's going to be a free kick.
He's done well there, Colin. He stuck with his task. Of course, as we see Coach Anthony Bartholomew, known as Chun, that's his nickname. He was part of this Malick setup even when they were back down in the championship division. He's done a very good job. And of course, not just keeping them in the division the last time around, Colin, but also now they look a well-organized outfit, particularly in the opening stages here against Presentation College.
So is it a free kick? It looks to be a free kick for Presentation. So the man coming over to take the free kick is Levi Jones. He's going to take it with that left foot, so you expect it to be curling in towards the Malick goal. Here he goes with it, and it does in fact curl in. The header goes up. Oh my word.
Yeah, he's got to score there. He had not only just the space and time, Colin, but also the ability to obviously position himself in the right way to get at least ahead on the frame.
Yeah, that was Young actually coming forward and
was unmarked.
Yeah,
as well.
Should have at least got it on target.
Yeah.
So here comes Malick coming forward with Batiste, but he's gonna try and playing it backwards there, getting it to Singh. And this is Batiste. Is he brought down? Yes, he is.
He's done well so far, Colin Batiste. He's picked up a lot of the loose balls in the middle of the park, and of course, when he picks it up, he decides to drive at the Presentation back four. And that's how he got his goal.
So the free kick is going to be taken by Woodley. And free kick for Presentation. It's with Young. Playing it inside to Jones. He has to go all the way back. Getting it, this is Cooper. Plays that long ball for Brathwaite, but Boyce is giving chase. Does well to keep possession, and then in fact wins a throw-in for his team. So it's Singh is taking the throw for Malick, gets it to Woodley. He's looking to play it forward, trying to get it to Batiste, but it's picked up here in the middle of the field. This is a good run. He gets it wide to Braffett. Gets the crossover.
A good cross.
This is a chance. Oh. Isaiah Jacob just couldn't get that volley going, Brent. He was in a good position. He was coming onto the ball. It was a lovely cross from Braffett, but Jacob just couldn't get that boot onto it. Or he got the boot onto it, but not how he should have done.
Yeah, this is a good cross initially here coming into the box. Just wondered if he was in two minds, whether to head or whether to shoot, as it eventually comes to him. I think it's body shape. Colin never really allowed him to get over the football. It would have needed a very good connection, either laces or side-footed, to get it on frame. Neither happened, and it ended up slicing off the shin eventually. But good positive play by Presentation.
So it's going to be a goal kick for Malick. They still lead by 1-0. We've just gone 10 minutes now in this game as that ball is played towards Woodley. Goes wide to Halls, but he can't keep it in. The ball, you could see the intention was clear, trying to get it up the field to Matthews. Came off the splice and has gone behind for a throw-in. Pushing on the back of, is that Jones? No, it looks to be Jacob. So it's ball played on this near side here. Oh, what's that? The ball was played back. The ball was played back by Worrell to Cooper, and he didn't seem to know what to do. You could see Coach Sean Cooper saying, play it long, get it forward. When in doubt, get it forward, Brent.
Yeah, but I thought he had a bit more time to control and maybe switch the point of build-up. Instead, he decided to clear his lines.
And Malick win a corner.
And now they're paying the price for that indecision. I think sometimes in those situations, communication is key. There was a goalkeeper and of course the defenders. Cooper obviously not pleased with that phase of play, but maybe this then and there, I think the information in and around him should have been to alert him to the time that he had on the football and maybe choose something differently than playing the ball back that direction that it came from. Nevertheless, they face a corner.
Yeah, a left-sided corner for Malick. Let's see, man's going to take the corner. Appears to be just checking on it. Seems to be Halls. So here is the corner going across to that far post, and Batiste is there again. Has a side-footed volley, but not getting it on target, and it's going to be a goal kick for Presentation. So this is a Presentation.
That's loose.
Yeah, good. Luckily, Cooper was in position that they didn't pay dearly for that, but they now give it back to Malick, a throw.
That's good play by Malick. They're not allowing Presentation the comfort, of course, to build the ball out to the back. Despite the humid conditions, they're still working extremely hard in closing down the opposition. And of course, because of their industry, they now find themselves with a throw.
So the throw is going to be taken here by, let's see, it looks to be Singh who's taking the throw. But it's given back to Presentation. So they're going to take the throw through Worrell. Cooper, he's got some support behind from Cooper, but he's deciding to go forward. So they've made some meters down that right side.
And that's a good picture of what is transpiring. It says 7 yellow shirts in the half against 4 in blue, and they're still struggling to get the ball out of their own half. It just shows you the type of work rate that the Malick team's putting in to, of course, make things very uncomfortable for Presentation. And Coach Bartholomew will be very happy with his charges and the effort that they've put in so far.
This is Young, gets it to Jacob. He's going to go all the way back to Levi Jones, who plays that ball forward to Young in an advanced position. He's trying to go down that left side. He's looking for some support, or is he going to try and get the crossover? No, he plays it in field to his skipper, Boyce. He's not going to get there. And here comes Malick, and foul. So
He's a lucky boy.
Yes.
I thought he was bailed out there, Colin. Not sure if that was a foul, but I always worry when a defender decides to dribble the ball out to the back.
So here is Malick in possession, but foul on Batiste, so it's going to be a free kick for Presentation. Free kick for Malick, sorry, as this is David with the kick. Goes long into the box, but really no one is there. And goalkeeper Lazarus goes across to his left to do the duties. Rolls it out towards George, who gets it down to, oh, that's good play on the part of Jacob, or Brathwaite, sorry, Malik Brathwaite. But they go all the way back to the goalkeeper as Presentation in possession with Young. It's it forward. He gets the return ball. He's got to go back, but he doesn't go back. He goes square to Levi Jones. Jones looking around with that left foot of his. Sends a good ball cross field towards Worrell. He comes in field. That's good bit of football from him as well. Oh, now he gives it away. He could be in trouble. Batista's charging him down. He's looking for the shot. Another deflection, but this time it just goes up into the air. And Young is going to allow it to go through to be taken by goalkeeper Lazarus.
Again, Colin, good play there by Malick. The industry there to shut Presentation down in their build-up phase has been remarkable so far. And really the story of this half, they've just not allowed Presentation to settle. Now they have gone into trying to get the ball a bit more direct because of the work rate that Malick has put it in to not allow them to build up.
So a free kick for Presentation, just inside the center circle. It's just about 16 minutes gone. And Malick, they lead through that goal by Batiste, the skipper. It's played towards George. He's going to get it forward, getting it towards Jacob. He goes wide to Young, back to Jacob. And this is Levi Jones. But he can't keep it under control. And in fact, the ball comes off of him and it goes out. It's going to be a throw for Malick. So the throw is going to be taken by Ifney Halls and headed out by Matthews. So it's going to be a throw this time for Presentation. Not seeing any ball boys around the field. Brent?
It's probably too hot for ball boys, Colin.
Well, I know it. I'm not sure about the ball boys. I know for me. Oh my word, it's but you know, it's just the sun has left us for a little while. There's a pretty dark cloud just over the ground. Don't think it's any immediate sign of rain, but at least it's cooled the conditions.
Yeah, it's cooled the conditions. There's reports of rainstorms in this north of Trinidad, and of course we're nestled in the central part of Trinidad where the sun's scorching hot. Imagine it may be snowing in south.
Well, it's going to be a free kick for Presentation. And see who's going to take the free kick. Seems to be Cooper, or is it? Let's just think it is going to be. Yes, it is going to be Cooper with the free kick. Presentation trailing by that goal from Batiste, Lindell Batiste. It's a good take, but sent backwards, and it's won back by Malick, but they're going to give it away. No, they keep possession through Joseph. He does well. Still trying to go forward with it. But it's won back here by Presentation. Boyce can't control it. Goes to David, who clears his lines, and it's going to be a throw for Presentation.
Well, they certainly haven't had it easy, Colin. Presentation. Malick have scrapped and battled for every loose ball in this game so far, and they certainly haven't made it easy for Presentation when they do decide to put the ball on the carpet and try to build the ball. It's certainly been a very, very difficult 20 minutes for Presentation. Certainly the work rate by Malick in the 20 minutes as well has been very good.
Oh yes, certainly. They've put the Presentation players under pressure every time they get the ball. Malick is not giving them time on the ball at all. But talking about time on the ball, Cooper has some space in front of him. Sends that long ball, looking for Boyce. The heads go up. The loose ball here. The shot comes, but really and truly no power behind it. The loose ball goes to Braffett. Braffett getting to the byline, gets it across.
Risky.
Yeah, should have cleared one time. But this is Boyce, leaving it for Braffett. But Boyce regains possession, sends it back to Worrell. Worrell plays that ball infield, looking to get it to Barkley. It's sent way upfield. It's Young in possession, goes back towards George. As the rain is coming down here now, it's at the Atto Bolden Stadium. So it's certainly going to cool conditions, Brent, but we're not sure how heavy this shower will be and for how long.
Well, it then changes, of course, the play on the field. The grass surface has come a bit more slick. As you could see, players, of course, struggling to keep their foot in. And as well, the ball is, of course, going through a bit faster than it was before. So it may change the tempo of the game, that's for sure.
So this is Worrell in possession for Presentation. Goes back towards Cooper. He gets it to George. Ball is played forward towards Jacob. Cooper plays that long ball, looking there for Jacob, who's wide. It goes to Malick Braffett. He is doing a little bit of pushing, and the referee says it's going to be a free kick for Malick. The free kick taken quickly, but regain possession here is Malick Braffett. He is on the go. He's looking for the shot, is he? No, he's going to go wide to Jacob. Jacob looking to come in field with it. He has the shot, no real power behind it, and it's taken by the keeper. See a player down at the moment.
Well, it's certainly a lot heavier than a passing cloud, Colin. We've
That's right.
now gone into the range of torrential rainfall. As I said, it will change the way the game is played, certainly from a surface perspective. It's going to be a little bit slicker, the Atto Bolden Stadium, using the Savannah type grass. It's very flush out there, and you would imagine that coupled with rain would make things a bit dicey for players from a footwear perspective. That could also come into play. I've seen one or two of the Malick players already, Colin, go off to the sideline to try to change their footwear.
Yeah, it's so very important that they have that correct type of footwear. So coach giving some instructions at the side of the field there to a couple of his players, including the captain and goal scorer Batiste. So it's, well, it's thunder, Brent. I'm not sure if it's thunder for who. But here is the ball just bounced by referee and sent upfield. This is Batiste looking to go wide towards Matthews, who has come across onto this left side, making a little bit of a switch with Joseph. Singh with the throw for Malick. Gets it to his skipper. And the referee saying she wasn't quite ready.
Well, it's
or is it a free kick? Is it?
I believe the player that looks like who's just off the field taking treatment just ran on the field. Woodley.
Yeah.
Without, of course, seeking the referee's permission.
So it's going to be a throw for Presentation. game has lost a little bit of his impetus, Brent, in the last few minutes, hasn't it?
I think the weather has changed the course of the game because of the change of environment. First, it's not humid, and of course, as I said, the surface has gotten a little bit slippery, which has meant the players are trying to find their footing, and as well trying to cope with the ball coming at a different trajectory than it was when it was raining, when it was sunshine, sorry. But still, it hasn't changed the application by Malick and what they've been able to produce so far. And as I said, the storyline really of this first half has been the work rate of the Malick players.
That's right.
The question is, Colin, can they keep this up?
Well, it's going to be a free kick for Presentation. The referee was playing advantage, and then they quickly lost the ball. So the referee has called the play back to give Presentation the free kick. The kick has been taken quickly by Cooper, gets it out to Young, but they lose out as Malick fighting for possession. When it comes all the way across to Worrell, he controls nicely, looks up, he's got some room in front of him, plays it wide to Brathwaite. This is Micah Brathwaite. He is playing it down the line, looking for the run from Barkley, but it's intercepted and goes out of play. It's going to be a through for Presentation. They still trail by 1-0. 25 minutes have gone as the through sent infield, looking for Boyce, and it's headed, but the keeper is going to get there before it goes out of play, so he avoids that ball going for a corner. This sends that ball up the field. Huskinson, I should say. Oh, that's a good turn.
Tackle.
Yeah,
Excellent tackle.
I was saying, Brendan, it was a good turn, but as he turned, it was a super tackle. But this is Batiste in possession.
It's good skill.
Still fighting for possession, and the loose ball is finally cleared upfield. It's won by Boyce. Boyce is a tough customer, but the referee has indicated that he has done the fouling. He looks really surprised at that.
Well, I think she's looking at the possibility of an elbow or a hand, a loose hand there. Maybe that's what has been spotted there by the referee. I was about to say, Colin, with 26 plus minutes into this one, and Malick has looked relatively comfortable. There hasn't really been a shot on target that has troubled the custodian in goal for Malick so far. That's Huskinson. But if I'm Coach Bartholomew, I'd be quite happy for what I've seen so far.
Yeah, and I think you made mention, which is so very true, about the work rate of the Malick team. They're working for one another. They're no sort of superstars who's just waltzing around the field. They're each fighting for every ball. When they lose possession, they're trying to regain it quickly. I think it's been a good display so far from them.
Yeah, very, very solid display.
And this,
that's good football.
This is
that's
a 1-2,
excellent.
And the ball in fact comes off of looks to be Brumble, and it goes out for a goal kick for Presentation. But really good bit of passing movement there between Samuel and Brumble, and eventually it was cleared onto Brumble, and a goal kick for Presentation. So we're back underway here as it's Cooper in possession. He's got Worrell wide. He's deciding to go long.
And again, the work rate, Colin. Of course, it may sound like a broken record here, but it's really impressive to see a team dig in like that. And you rightfully mentioned it. It's not a team of superstars. It's a team of players that want to work for the cause. And when you have that, sometimes in football, it could not only win you games, but it could win you championships. It's been a good display so far.
That's right. And you know, the thing is, they are not intimidated whatsoever by Presentation.
No, not at all.
The reputation of Presentation, they're not intimidated, and they're taking the game to Presentation.
Well, they've controlled the game without the football, really.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is down to, again, how they've applied themselves to this fixture so far. You really have to give them credit. As I said, my only concern, Colin, is can they keep it up?
Yes. Well, here's Batiste. He's had a good game so far, but it's won by Boyce. Boyce, he's got Jacob wide. Gets it to Jacob. Jacob being tackled there by Halls. He comes in field. Sends the cross in.
A bad ball. That's not a bad ball. That's going to be trouble.
Yes, here's Brathwaite. The shot comes off.
That's a penalty.
It must have come off the hand, Brent. But we said from the beginning, the cross from Jacob looked very enticing, and it created problems for the Malick defenders.
Well, they never dealt with the ball that was played into the box. And once you allow it, of course, to bounce around the way that it did, it will put you in that sort of problem. And of course, the question, Colin, is whether or not the hand was in a natural position. As we take another look at it here, ball played into the box, it allowed to bounce around. A poor clearance there. And this is the play here. Look at the shot here. I'm not sure, Colin, unless it's a handball from David Isaiah, who was partially blocked there. I'm not sure if it was a handball or not, but nevertheless, it's a penalty.
And it's Barkley, the man, who's going to take it. So here goes Barkley. Ade Barkley puts it away to the keeper's left, and presentation. They're back level in the 30th minute. It's now Malick 1, presentation 1.
Well, Malick would, of course, feel that they're very unlucky because, as we mentioned, they have controlled this football game without necessarily possessing the football. But boy, oh boy, that handball again came into play. Again, Colin, it comes to that question whether or not the hand was in a natural position.
That's right.
And you looked at both players, of course, trying to block the shot. I'm not sure. It wasn't clear enough for me. I mean, like to take another look at it. But a penalty was given.
Throw in for Malick. Yes, to me, the referee was right on spot, though, and she immediately pointed to the spot.
Yeah, and to me, that convinces me that she would have seen something that we haven't been able to see so far, either from our position here in the commentary booth or from the replays that we saw. But she would have seen it. You rightfully said, Colin, she didn't hesitate.
No, she didn't, and she was right on spot where the cross when it came in. And I think you mentioned it wasn't cleared properly in the first instance, and maybe from that it came off the hand, because when the shot was taken, I think by Bradford, it was, in my view, the defenders were right on top of him, and it would have been harsh to give a penalty for that.
That's my thought, and that's why I've asked to probably have another look at it, because proximity also plays a part in when you're making these decisions, not necessarily just natural position, the proximity of how close a defender is from the shot itself.
Well, here's Batiste. Good tackle, excellent tackle there, coming in by Jones. So it's going down that left side is Young. Good, strong challenge coming in by Halls. So the penalty coolly taken by Ade Barkley, putting it to the keeper's left.
As we take another look here, Colin, as I said, here is the decision. Of course, that's after the fact.
That's after the fact. Yeah.
That the penalty was given, and the actual cross that came in. I just wondered, Colin, and this is the penalty. Yeah, and then really wanted to see the actual handball itself, because you made a very good point, Colin. Look at it here again. The ball comes in, and I want to use your reference of the proximity. This is a very good view of it.
I don't think that was a handball at that point, so it has to be
Look at the proximity here.
Yeah,
that couldn't be.
That's harsh.
That's a very harsh decision, because you're correct in what you're saying in terms of the proximity of it, and I wondered whether or not it was a penalty. That's a very, very harsh decision.
Well, a left-sided corner for presentation. So we see young Cooper just making some adjustments to his boot. Here's the corner headed over the bar, but by the Malick defender. That's good. He did well to actually decide he's going to try and go over his crossbar. Could so easily have gone into the back of the net. So this time it's going to be a right-sided corner for presentation. So this looks to be, is it Jacob with the corner. That's not a bad corner, but headed away. There's no one really gaining possession at the moment. Sent upfield. This is Malick. Oh, that's well intercepted by Young. Very good interception. It's in the middle of the field. This is Jones. Gets it to the man who took the penalty to equalize, Barkley. He goes back to Cooper. That's a good ball, looking for Boyce. Headed away by David, but it goes to Boyce. The ball, through ball. Can Bradford get there? Yes, he can. Sends the cross in. Headed away. But Jones getting there first. Sends the ball to Young. Young sends that deep searching ball, but too far behind the Boyce, and it goes out for a goal kick for Malick. Coming up to 35 minutes in this game. 1 goal apiece. Presentation College and Malick. This is Halls.
He's done well.
Yeah, gets it to Batiste. Goes wide to Singh. Singh looking to play it forward towards...
I think if there was a complaint, Colin, about Malick's offensive side of it, of course, would be the numbers that they have forward.
Going forward,
They just seem to be a bit light on the attack.
This is Singh looking to get it forward, thinking that Joseph might have been there, but no, it's picked up here by Presentation. Ball is with Jacob, gets it back to Young, and that's a poor ball as Jacob had started to make the run down the wide left-hand side, and Young just couldn't find him. So they throw for Malick. Just about coming up to 8 minutes left in this first half. Still 1 goal apiece. Ball played forward. This is man coming across is George. Plays it out. Safety first. Malick have a throw. Ball is wide to Halls. This is a good bit of movement from Malick, but it's won back by Presentation, but they give it away.
It's a good challenge.
Yeah, excellent challenge.
It's very late. Not sure how that's not called a foul.
Well,
I mean, it's an extremely late challenge there by Batiste.
let's see the
And
the referee has given us through. Let's have a look at it again.
well, look at the challenge by Batiste. The ball's already
Oh my
gone.
word. Yeah. Well, if that's not a foul, Brent, then I'm not sure we're going to have any fouls in the game.
Well, I would still be playing, Colin.
Oh, you would have enjoyed a game like this. This here is Batiste, but he can't get the better of Worrell, but he gives it away as it's in the middle of the field there now with Brumble. He goes wide, gets it to Matthews, and he can't get past Young, so it's going to be a throw for Malick. I wish when these whoever prints uniforms, Brent, when you have a dark blue shirt, you can't put a black number on it. You got to put white. Brent, I have 4 eyes and I still can't make out some of the numbers on the Malick shirts. Well,
I think that's why they've put me next to you, Colin.
oh well, you're a big help, are you? Here is Young. It's okay if the shirt is yellow, but when you've got a dark navy blue, can't put black as a number. Come on.
Yeah, it needs to be white, so very difficult to see. And that's good. That's a good touch.
Yeah, excellent touch. It goes back towards James. But this is Boyce. Oh, that's well, he's still got possession, and he's going to be the keeper. That's just wide. Well. He is a really industrious type player forward, isn't he, Boyce? He's tough, he's big, he bounces around the defenders. I thought at one moment he got the better defender. He actually was barged in, but he kept going and he looked to place it to the keeper's left. It went just wide.
It went just wide. It's a good effort, good work there by Boyce. For a minute there, thought he was going to go over the goalkeeper. Said he decided to go around. He was very close. Maybe he had a couple more yards. He could have gone with it, Colin, to get a bit closer to the goal.
Could have done.
But he took his chance well. It's a poor decision there by the Malick defender to play the ball across field. Cardinal sin, really.
So this is Cooper for presentation. Again, not a good ball. He's playing these long balls, Brent, out from the back, but so far he hasn't been able to, send pinpoint passes to his front runners. He's been looking a lot for Brathwaite going down the right side, but his passing has left a little bit, has been a little bit wayward. This is Batiste, however. It's a good ball to Matthews. Brumble, still Brumble, looking for Matthews, and it's cleared away. That's not a nice bit of interpassing.
It's not bad at all by Malick. We haven't seen enough of that from the boys from Mova. Certainly they're capable of doing it. But unfortunately there, didn't have an end result.
This is Singh. Sends the ball in, but straight to goalkeeper Lazarus. As presentation, come forward now on that left-hand side. Ball played forward to the overlapping Young. He's got holes for company. That's a good tackle in the end.
Yes, very good tackle. Just looking at the blue shirts get back behind the ball and the effort to get back behind the ball. I'm really amazed. And I'm a big fan of seeing young players work hard without the football. We talk so much in the Caribbean about the talent on the ball. It's really a welcoming sight to see a team that's working that hard off the football.
Well, this is Batiste. He's been one of their better players.
It's not a bad idea.
But it's won back here by George. He sends it forward, gets it to Jacob. Jacob playing that ball cross field, but it's behind Brathwaite. And it goes out. It's going to be a through for Malick. So it's going to be Singh with the through, but he gives it right back to Barkley. He sends that long ball forward looking for Boyce. This is Batiste, but can't keep it in, and it's going to be a through for Malick. So just coming up to the last 3 minutes of the first half. We'll have to wait and see just how much added on time there will be.
I think certainly, Colin, from a Malick perspective, Coach Bartholomew will be very, very happy with the way his charges performed in this half, as we have lamented so many times about the work rate. And I'm sure he would look at the goal that they conceded as, of course, unfortunate. Certainly wasn't a penalty from where I sit. And could easily implore his charges going into the second half, more of the same. As I said, the question is whether or not they can keep up with the work rate that they have set.
The only good thing now, Brent, is that the conditions are very cool. So,
correct.
That's the good thing. Had it been like it was when we first started this game, hot and humid and sunny. This is Boyce. Well, there's no doubt. He's got a man running in the middle. Who is that? Boyce, he's still taking off. Oh, he did too much.
It's got to pass.
There was Brathwaite. Malick Brathwaite was running through the middle, Brent. He should have looked up, sent it across field, and Brathwaite would have been in on an open, basically would have been a one-on-one with the keeper. Let's look at it. Let's look at the run from Boyce first and check Brathwaite, Malick Brathwaite, making a run in the middle.
There's once Boyce got past his defender here, this is where he needs to put it into the box. He takes an extra touch, and by that time the angle was shut down. Poor decision there on his part. He had every right to put the ball into the box there.
Unfortunately, we couldn't see Brathwaite, Malick Brathwaite, making that run, Brent, in the picture. But he was making that run, storming through the middle.
It was wide open as well, Colin.
Yeah, wide open. Boyce is a real handful, Brent. We saw Larry Noel, of course, on Wednesday, but Boyce is, you know, he's a tough. He's going to run at the defenders. He's going to be tough to. He's going to be a tough one for the defenses throughout the season.
Well, the difference between, of course, the San Juan North game and this one is that Presentation College have not really gotten Boyce in those sorts of situations enough for my liking in this half. He's a player that's willing to run in behind defenders, and so that means you have to play the ball early. And we haven't seen that enough from Presentation so far.
Well, we're coming up to the end of the first half, and we just await how much added on time there will be. So here comes Batiste for Malick. That's a good tackle. Yeah, but this is, man in possession is Brathwaite. Gets it to Jacob. He's being confronted by Holes. He gives it away. So Holes in possession, plays it in field.
He's been very solid at that right back position, Holes.
Yep, here is ball coming off of the Malick player. Goes to Young. He has to go all the way back towards George. And in fact, it's going to be a throw for Presentation. So we're into added on time now. As free kick given to Malick.
It's a bad ball. This could be trouble. I tell you what.
Well, referee again says nothing doing as the ball is played to Batiste. Long ball forward, but can't keep it in. And the referee has called an end after just 1 minute of added on time to the first half. And as we go in for the half, it's 1 goal apiece between Malick and Presentation here at the Atto Boldon Stadium. Of course, Malick scoring in the very first attack, and an equalizer coming from the boot of Barkley, Ade Barkley, equalizing from the penalty spot in the 30th minute. Welcome back here to the Atto Bolden Stadium. We're at the half between Presentation College and Malick Secondary. It's 1-1 at the half. Let's have a look at the highlights. So from the kickoff, Malick was on the go. It was Batiste having the shot, and a deflection, a wicked deflection, kept it away from the keeper, and just like that, the very first attack, Malick was 1 goal up, courtesy their skipper, Lendl Batiste. He tried his luck from distance just outside the box. It took a deflection, and goalkeeper Lazarus was absolutely nowhere, and the ball went out. The ball nestled in the far corner to make it 1 goal all. Presentation then settled nicely, started to knock the ball around, was having some shots, but from distance really, until this happened. Handball, said the referee. She was right on spot, and she immediately called for a penalty for Presentation College. Ade Barkley walked up and he put it into the back of the net, and Presentation will level at one apiece. Again, bit of fortune here for Presentation. Seemed a very harsh decision for that penalty to be given, but then Boyce, that man up front, the skipper, was through on the defense and tried to place it away from the keeper, and it went agonizingly close. Here's another run from Boyce, taking on the defender, shrugging him off, taking it on the chest, going up. In the middle of the field was Batiste. He looked up, but then tried to do it on his own and took the ball out of play, and they lost their chance. So at the half, as I say, it's 1-1 between Presentation College and Malick Secondary. Let's have a look, Brent, at the stats.
Well, it's an evenly poised game, 1 apiece at the scoreline. Of course, 7 shots for Presentation College, 3 of those on target, 6 by Malick, 2 of those on target, 6 fouls collectively by the 2 teams. Of course, no yellow cards or red cards in the game so far. Offsides, 1 for Malick. 3 corners in total, 1 for Presentation, 2 for Malick. And of course, 3 saves all together in the game, 1 from Presentation and 2 for Malick. And of course, a game that has been evenly poised so far. Malick controlling the game without the football necessarily. Good work rate they have exhibited so far. The question is whether or not they can continue this into the second half.
Yes, well, we'll just have to wait and see. The conditions are nice here. It's cool at the moment, but who knows what's going to happen for the second half. Hans is standing by, and he's got the 2 coaches with him, the assistant coach of Malick and the assistant coach of Presentation. Let's go down to Hans.
Actually, the manager of Presentation College, Roland Atwell, he's here with me, and evenly poised when we look at the statistics. But what are your observations from the first half?
Well, my observations are that we are not putting away our chances, basically. And we need to do that, because if we don't do that, the team will grow in strength and it'll come back to bite us.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Assistant Coach Rondon, observations from the first half.
First half, both teams had level possession. I think we played a little better in the first half, I should say. But same, I would say, as the assistant manager. Perez, if we don't put away our chances, we are going to pay at the end of it.
All right, well, we'll see what happens at the end, but the fans are here, and Siobhan is with them.
All right, folks, so I've taken to the stands during halftime of today's first match with Presentation College versus Malick Secondary School. And here with me is Christine. So as you can see, Christine is a die-hard Presentation College supporter. So Christine, can you tell me what the atmosphere has been like for you today?
It has been wonderful. As usual, Prez is very proud of everything we do. All of us here are Prez supporters. We are real, vibrant, as she said, die-hard supporters, and Prez is always the best, always.
So you think Presentation going home with it today?
Definitely. There's no doubt about it.
Does anyone else in the stand agree with Christine here?
Yes!
All right, thank you so much, Christine. Right about now, we're going to take a break, and on the other side of that, we are going to have some action in second half.
So there is the sponsor of the secondary schools league, the Tiger Tanks, and so great to see Tiger Tanks coming on board as the official sponsor of the secondary schools league. And Brent, it's always great when sponsors come aboard. You know, you depend on corporate sponsors to get involved in all aspects of sport, not just secondary schools football, but all aspects. And Tiger Tanks over the last couple of years have been really friends to not only secondary schools football, but sport in general.
Yeah, sport in general, and as you rightfully said, the involvement of corporate Trinidad and Tobago with the development of young people is extremely important. It should not only be a reliant of government or individuals. We've seen Tiger Tanks now, of course, getting a bit deeper into it, and of course SportsMax themselves have played an integral role in the development of this league, the Secondary Schools Football League. Colin, when you throw your mind back to when we started this project in SSFL to where we are today in the building of that product that is the SSFL, that is beamed to so many homes up and down the Caribbean. When I went to St. Lucia, they talked about Naps and Prez over there.
It's amazing because, I mean, you know, secondary schools football, Brent, over the years, before that, it was Colleges League, of course, but it was always exceedingly popular. You know, you get in the crowds when QRC against St. Mary's, Fatima St. Mary's, etc. And you've always got big crowds. But I think this has added a different dimension when SportsMax has come on and started live broadcasts. And you know, you can now sit at home and actually look at these games and you pick out some of the players. I mean, let's just look at the game we did last week between Samoa North and QRC. We're seeing two young players, Noel and CEEN, who right away, you know, had we not had the SportsMax television coverage, I'm not sure we would have been, you know, yes, we would have seen it in the papers, but we're able to show these two guys, the talent of these two guys in the homes of people. So they now suddenly say, but look, you know, look at that guy. He scored 4 goals.
Correct.
He's someone you could now look up and follow his career going through the season and going beyond.
Yeah, you're correct. And going back to the corporate side of things, it now encourages corporate Trinidad to come on board, because they're not only being spoken about with the spectators that are actually there at the facilities. Now their names have been beamed across the Caribbean, and of course they now become household names. Of course, the other sponsors that has been traditionally involved in secondary schools football are now Tiger Tanks coming and playing a major role in this year's version of the competition. And of course, Tiger Tank's name has been beamed right up the Caribbean.
Yeah,
so,
and the mileage one gets from being involved in this in the league, in the Tiger Tank Secondary Schools League. You know, you not only got in terms of signage around the field, but you've also got on the jerseys now, which has become so very popular. You know, with on the sleeves, sometimes of course on the chest. So it's really great, I think, for Secondary Schools League, and these guys have such a great opportunity. And they'll tell you, a lot of them tell you in interviews that they're looking forward, you know, to bigger and better things. And with the coverage coverage that they're getting, they're able now to take that coverage and send it abroad, because sometimes they're looking for a scholarship, and wherever they go looking for that scholarship would never have seen them play. But they can now take this footage and say, well, look, I'm the guy who scoring the goal. So no, it's such a great incentive.
The only unfortunate thing is they have your voice screaming all over the footage.
I would think that would have been a boost for them as well, But no, it's really a super thing. It's but we're just about getting ready here for the start of the second half. Which way will this go, Brent?
I tell you, if Malick keeps up the work rate and industry that they did in the first half, they have every chance to go on and get a positive result. But Presentation College, obviously, the favourites still in this fixture.
Well, the ball just the ball Halls with the ball slicing off his left boot, and Presentation in possession. Jacob getting wide there, looking to backheel it, but it's picked up here by Halls, but he still is not clearing it well. And Jacob in possession, the ball coming off the chest of the Malick player, and he's down for the count. It looks like Woodley. Yes, it is Woodley. Down for the count. Took it full in the chest. And they slowly making his way back, just catching his breath. So they throw for Presentation. It's with Young. Goes back to Jones. Gonna go right across the field. Worrell needs to control that. Does well in the end. But an aimless ball picked up by James, and he sends it upfield. No one really trying to get control until Brathwaite intervenes and sends it back to Worrell. But it's picked up by Batiste. Oh, he comes away from that tackle. Sends a nice ball cross field looking for Matthews. But it's won back here by Jacob. He goes wide. Gets it this time. It's played from George to Young. He gets the throw. So coming up to 47 minutes of this game. So we just started the second half, just 2 minutes old. Halls taking no chances because Jacob was breathing down his back. So there is Sean Cooper, always in the thick of things.
Well, I would suspect, Colin, that a lot of his halftime conversation would be around quality. They've certainly not shown the quality that we'd expect from a Presentation team, and that is care of the football, passing, final decisions, and certainly in execution of the overall play.
Could that be early days yet, Brent? Because it's just the second round and
well, I think
a little bit of rustiness.
I think a lot of it is down to the work rate of Malick. They just haven't allowed them to settle. They've ran, they've harried, they've hustled, and they've made it very, very uncomfortable for Presentation to play the ball around. And as we look at the Malick Senior Comprehensive bench, if you have more of those types of players on the bench, then they have every chance. There it is again, Colin.
Yeah,
just not allowing
hustle.
Presentation to settle.
Yes, and a foul on Brumble. So Matthews is going to leave it. The long ball forward sent by James. This is Young.
So again, Colin, look at it.
Harassed by Brumble. Eventually he gets out of it. This is Cooper. But he gives it away to Matthews. Matthews does well. Gets around his man. And that's a foul. It's going to be a free kick. The yellow card is now going to be produced. We see. Let's see who is being called. Is it George? No, it's not George. Yes, it is. Abeomi George has picked up the first yellow card of the game.
And that's all down to the work rate of Brumble. Closed his man down, forced him to go back, and eventually here
so it was picked
created
up in
an
the
opportunity.
Yeah, it was picked up in the end by Matthews, Brent, and he started to run inside.
run inside.
Yeah. was running at the defenders, and George brought him down. So a free kick for Malick in a pretty dangerous position. So let's see who's going to take it. Is he going to look to go over the top of the wall?
He has to hit the target, Colin. He has to at least make the goalkeeper make a save. It's wet. It's not the best conditions. Even on the surface, hitting it off the surface as well might be an option.
Is it going to be Batiste? I think it's Batiste.
Looks like Batiste.
Yeah. So here is Malick with the free kick. It's Batiste. It hits the wall. Wall has done its job. That's good defending. Very good defending. So Malick with the throw. It's going to be Holes looking for Brumble, but he sends it beyond Brumble. In fact, a little tussle there. It's picked up by Jacob. Gets it to Boyce. Oh, Boyce looking to play a 1-2. So there is the yellow card confirmation. Abiomi George picking up the first yellow card of the game. Oh, that's a good tough tackle. And there goes Boyce. He's given chase. Brent, nothing is too difficult for him to give chase and make him play. The ball is won back by Young. This is Matthews. Gets it back towards James. He sends it downfield. George, still George, does well, but in the end loses out to Brumble. And Levi Jones puts it out for a throw. So there is coach of presentation, Sean Cooper, and of course the coach of Malick. That will be very happy. Anthony Bartholomew will be very happy with his charges. So it is Matthews. Sends a long ball forward, but it cleared right back upfield by Warren. There goes
This could
Boyce.
be trouble, Colin.
There goes Boyce chasing after it again. Actually, just a quick correction. That was not Anthony Bartholomew, the coach of Malick. In fact, it was his assistant. As this is Brumble going forward with it. Gets a good ball towards Samuel. Samuel still in possession, but unfortunately couldn't do very much with it. And it's sent back upfield. It's with Singh. Gets it wide towards Joseph. Goes all the way back to Singh. He's trying to play it infield, but it's won back here by presentation. This is Barkley. Looking to thread it through to Boyce.
Ball.
This is Boyce with a chance. Oh, that's 2-1. What a goal. This boy Boyce is trouble. What a goal from the skipper of presentation. What a good goal. It was made by Barkley. Barkley regained possession from that man wide on the left, picked it up, came in field, played a beautiful ball with the outside of his boot. Boyce came in field.
Left his man for dead.
Whoa, beautiful, didn't it?
Yeah, beautiful ball. Once he got in position here, left his defender for dead, steadied himself, and slotted past the goalkeeper, Hoskinson, who really had no chance there. It's a good bit of footwork and even better composure to put the ball into the back of the net. Presentation started the better of the two in this second half and go up deservedly, 2-1.
So they're in the lead now, 2-1. Presentation. That goal coming from the boot of the skipper, Boyce. And means that Malick now have to come from behind to get something out of this game.
Well, they were caught in transition, weren't they, Malick? They had numbers forward, gave away the football, and eventually once it got to Boyce, he really had one man to beat, and boy did he do that well.
So this is the goal kick for Lazarus. headed by Matthews, but in fact comes off of Young. So it's going to be a throw for Malick. So that is the coach of Malick, Anthony Bartholomew. So he's not out, he's just at the dugout. So, but here goes presentation. This is Jacob. Oh, he tried to get it in field to Boyce, couldn't get it, came off of that man James, and the throw quickly taken. This is Braffett, or Brathwaite as they say. The ball sent downfield, can't keep it in, and it's going to be a throw. Actually, the throw has been awarded to presentation, and they're a little bit unsure. The referee is saying that it's presentation's through, and I think the assistant referee was kind of pointing towards being a Malick through. However, it's with Boyce. Ball comes off of Jacob. Throw for Malick. They trail now by 2-1. 10 minutes gone so far in the second half. As this is Brumble getting it to Matthews, looking to play it forward to Samuels. Clearing the lines is Cooper. So a throw for Malick. Second game coming up after Brent with St. Benedict's and Carpachima.
Of course, St. Benedict's joined their first game against a much fancied Fatima College. When you talk to coaches and people around the secondary schools football league, Fatima name comes up. There's a feeling that they've recruited quite well and they've developed a team that should be competing.
They also tell me that St. Benedict's, however, a very physical team. They're a very tough team. And as we said, Fatima should be a really good team this year.
They should be a good team.
And we're just waiting to see what Fatima can produce. And then we'll wait until we see their first game when Fatima plays Brent.
Well, I just wondered if I'd said that word Fatima, how long this conversation would have gone on. And so that's why I guess I got my answer. And it'll be the last time I'm mentioning Fatima for the season.
Well, back here, it's presentation leading by 2-1 as they're in possession through Young. He goes all the way back. Gets it to George. So this is Young. He's got some room in front of him, but he's now tackled by Brumble. Plays a good ball in field, and here comes presentation coming forward. But Halls wins it nicely. Slide tackle, gets it to Brumble. Matthews getting it towards the far side. Coming in is Joseph. Goes all the way back to Matthews. He's fighting for it, but it's won here and Boyce turns. And is he fouled? Yes, says the referee, as Boyce was turning into the defender and was just pushed. And it's going to be a free kick for presentation. The kick quickly taken. It's with Young. Looking around for some support. He has to go backwards. No, he goes square to Jones. Jones getting it towards George. Nice long searching ball, but it's overhit, and even Boyce can't run that down. It's going to be a goal kick for Malick.
I think this is where Malick will have to go back to the drawing board, Colin. They've worked hard, as we've mentioned throughout this production.
Any standouts, Brent?
I think Baptiste in particular, Brumble for his work rate, but I think now being 2-1 down, quality has to come in.
Well, I was about to say that. They need a little bit of a creativity from a couple of the players. Here goes presentation, the shot, and there's Boyce. The keeper can't make that type of mistake. Boyce scores in the 59th minute. So he gets his second. He gets Presentation's third. The shot was coming from Jacob from distance on this type of surface, Brent. It skidded on. The keeper couldn't hold on. It bounced off of him. And Boyce, ever present, following up, just had the easy task to put it into the net. But here's Jacob with the shot.
Yeah, Jacob with the shot. Boyce reactive quickest and was first on the spot. And that's what you want from your talisman, your striker, your leader. To always be on the front foot. Didn't even hesitate, Colin. Came from quite a distance to make sure you could tuck that away. Hoskinson could have done maybe a better job of maybe pushing it further away from the goal, but he didn't have any help. Colin, not a defender in sight.
I think he was trying to hold on to it, Brent. He never, you know, and
well,
that was the first mistake.
Yeah, on this surface it's always going to be difficult. But I think in his defense as well, Colin, not one player in a blue top was even close or reacted.
Well, coming up to the hour so far, and Presentation, they now lead by 3-1, having been a goal behind. So they are now pretty much in charge of this game. So, but still half an hour to go. And Presentation can't relax against this Malick team.
Well, the tails are up, Presentation. And you just feel if Malick was to score a second, Colin, this game could change. They have, of course, the potential to score a second, and they also have the potential to go further.
That's a good ball.
They are.
Good ball from Worrell.
That's a tough tackle.
Yes. Singh, the man putting in the tackle against Brathwaite. And it's going to be a throw for Presentation. Worrell has gone forward to take the throw. Loose ball comes out here towards Jones. He's going to get it to Young. Forward of him is Jacob. Oh, he's trying to give Young the return ball. It's won by Matthews. Does well to keep it in. Gets it to Halls. And he is just bouncing it off of the Presentation player. And it goes out for a goal kick for Malick.
Well, you have to give Coach Cooper credit, Colin, because what he said at halftime certainly have caused the reaction by the Presentation players. Certainly from a tempo standpoint, they've raised their tempo, and because of that, it's made it difficult for Malick.
Yeah, I was about to say that when you mentioned. I said suddenly they've picked up a second gear, and here comes Presentation again. Oh, that's a foul. You could see the intention there of Brathwaite. He was looking to play Boyce in. He got his back was to goal, so he tried to play.
It was the right idea.
Yeah.
It was the right idea. It just wasn't executed the right way. But yeah, certainly the intensity from Presentation College has raised, and because of that, it has also raised the standard of play.
Yeah, that's right.
Presentation.
You're quite correct. As Presentation now, and I think what is happening as well, Brent, they're forcing Malick into errors. Well, we see a change as looks like the number 8 player, is it? Lyndall George has come on. And is it number 13? Seems to be 13.
This could be third.
Here comes Boyce again. This is a chance.
Good
oh,
save.
That's good keeping.
It's excellent goalkeeping.
Really good keeping on the part of the Malick custodian. He came out, narrowed the angle, and he was on top of Boyce before he knew what was happening, Brent.
Well, once he got in here, shrugged off the defender. Such a big, powerful boy, Boyce. But Hoskinson to the rescue there. Made himself big, came out very alert and blocked it. That's good goalkeeping by the young man.
So there's confirmation of the substitution. Coming off is Antonio Joseph, and Lyndall George is the man that has gone on.
I think this is a crucial 10 to 15 minutes here for Malick. They're certainly not out of this contest at 3-1. But they need to get a second one, at least to start the momentum towards getting themselves back to parity in this one. But they've not really had any clear-cut chances in the second half so far.
Well, here's a free kick for Malick. Is he going to go to goal from here? Well, he's
very tame.
Well, that was always going to be a tough.
I don't mind that, Colin.
Yeah.
It's on frame and it's wet conditions, so I don't mind it. It's tame.
It had to have some
a little bit
power
more
behind
venom.
it.
But I prefer seeing it on target.
Yeah, then,
and of course
yeah.
ending up in Rosie.
Yep, you're right. At least it was on target.
Particularly in these sorts of conditions.
Yeah. Well, this is James going wide towards Halls. Long ball there, looking for man who's come on as a substitute, but it's Rumble. Can't get the better of Jacob as he comes in field with it.
That's good football.
Plays a good ball in field. Oh, that's a
Even
lovely
better
ball. This is Brathwaite. Looking to come in field with it. Gets it here towards the shot comes. Oh, it comes off the bar. Goes to Brathwaite. The shot from Jacob came off the bar. That was a cracker.
It deserved to be in the back of the net. Some good football there by Presentation College, but they're on the defense now. It's end-to-end stuff all of a sudden. It's a brilliant passage of play by Presentation College. As we take another look, once it's settled into the middle here.
I thought he was going to shoot Brathwaite.
Well, he teed it up on his left foot and was always leaning back. Certainly, Hoskinson was beaten. And he just thought that may have just nestled into the net. It's good football.
So it's going to be a free kick for Malick. Just about 65 minutes gone. Still, we have 25 minutes to go. If Malick can somehow conjure up a goal now, could make an interesting last 20 minutes or so. There are some of the fans. Not too sure if they're Prez fans, if maybe they're here for the second game. But it could very well be Presentation fans. But here is a free kick for Malick. It's going to go to goal, but the wall again, it's not the first time we've seen the wall doing its job. James sends that ball forward, headed backwards to goalkeeper Lazarus.
You just wonder, Colin, at what point is Malick going to throw caution to the wind and start throwing bodies forward? They've been, of course, well structured in their approach throughout this game. But when you're 3 goals to 1 down in a football match, at some point you have to go for it.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
So you wonder when that adjustment is going to be made by Malick.
We see a substitution here. It seems
Like-
a Presentation.
Like Jacob. He's done well, Jacob.
Yeah, he has. So he's off, and Ford is the man on.
Well, it looks like a formation change right away. Looks like Boyce has dropped back into the middle.
Yeah, and Ford has gone up
I
top.
thought it's going up top.
Tell you what, I wouldn't have made that. I love Boyce up front. I would just keep him there.
Well,
He's a real nuisance, isn't he? Well, let's just see how Ford does.
Well, I think Cooper is starting to, of course, think about all 3 points.
3 points, yeah. Could be.
Yeah, and shore things up a bit.
Well, it's going to be a free kick for Prez. Cooper gets it wide to Worrell. Plays that ball forward to Brathwaite, gets the return ball. But it's picked up here by Batiste.
It's a good ball.
Yes, gets it to Brumble. Eventually it's picked up by Woodley. But he does well, goes back to Halls. Looking for Brumble, but it's headed towards Brathwaite. He can't hold on to it. It's one back here again by Woodley.
It's a good ball.
Excellent ball here. This is look to be George. Lindell George. The man who came on as a substitute. Sent upfield. And Ford is going to give chase. I tell you, this is why I like Boyce, Brent. If that was Boyce, the defender would have known about it.
Well, here he comes.
But here comes Malick.
That's a good play.
Gets
Strong
it
side.
wide. This could be a chance. It's a little beyond the player, and that's unfortunate.
Need a bit of composure.
Yeah.
Just never really settled himself to put that ball across. He's in the right position. But
Yeah, that was Matthews actually looking to play it forward, and it was hit with a little bit too much power. This is Matthews again, tussling for it with Jones.
oh, that's a tough challenge.
Well, he gets possession.
Oh, just a little bit too much. Good idea, Colin.
Yep.
Just a little bit too much on it.
Matthews has gone into the midfield now. He was wide on the right before. He's gone into the midfield and really is working extremely hard for his school.
Well, a lot of it as well is because the captain Batiste has been very quiet in the second half. Here's Boyce.
This is Boyce. He just barges his way through, doesn't he? This is Brathwaite. Has the shot.
With the boots as well,
The boot
flying.
is gone, the ball is gone, and it's over the bar. 20 minutes left. Malick trailing by 3-1 here.
Well, he cut inside, created him a little bit of a room for a shot, and the ball eventually over the bar, and the boots as well. Well, the boots didn't go over the bar, stayed in play.
Yes, well, here is the goal kick. See another substitution for presentation, is it? But here goes Boyce.
could be
Here's
trouble.
Boyce. Is he going to get there? Sends the ball agonizingly across the face of the goal. And the man who came on as a substitute just couldn't get there. That looks like Mikael Edwards, who has come on as a substitute, the number 19. So this is Ford. He's got Edwards in the middle. This is a chance. Oh, his control was bad. He gets on next bite of the cherry. Boyce has the shot. No power. So the energy of the two substitutes now, Brent, Ford and Edwards, starting to tell on Malick. This is Batiste. Still, Batiste in possession. Plays that ball through the middle, but it's picked up here now by Edwards, the substitute. Plays it in field. Gets it to Jones. Jones playing it forward towards Ford. Coming in field with it was Brathwaite, but he is fouled and it's going to be a free kick for presentation.
Well, I did wonder, Colin, whether or not Malick could keep up the intensity that we saw in the first half, and I've gotten my answer in and around the 50-something odd minute. It was always going to be a tough ask for the men in blue. They've done so well in the first 45 plus minutes. Just to keep that up was always going to be a difficult ask, and they couldn't. And when you look at the middle of the park, in particular their captain Batiste, the industry that we saw in the first half from him and others is certainly not there in the second half.
Well, the free kick looks to be Jones who's going to take it for presentation. And we see another substitution for Malick. Looks to be the number 5 player, Thomas. He is come on. And he's come on for Samuels, so it means Brumble has now gone on top. Here is the free kick. Sent forward. Cleared away. So there is the substitution. Daquan Thomas coming on for Uber Samuel. Number 5 for the number 17.
And these are the areas where Malick was picking the ball up in the first half, Colin. Presentation certainly didn't have the luxury of coming out of the back, but now, of course, as we said, possibly fatigue. It's being done with ease.
Thomas getting it to Halls. Halls has gone in a more advanced position now with that substitution. And Thomas, he's gone to a right back. So Daquan Thomas going and picking up that right back position. And Halls has come more into more of a wide right midfield role. So here comes Worrell. Decides to go all the way back to Cooper.
Oh, that's risky. It's risky.
Gets away with it though because it's picked up by Young. This is George getting it towards Jones. He goes all the way back to George.
Just needs a bit of composure, really, Colin. They're panicking when there's no pressure on the ball. Just relax.
And they've given away the ball cheaply at the back, and they've given Malick a throw. So Malick can pile bodies forward now. We're into the last 15 minutes of this game.
Well, I've looked at your, Colin, your running style when you were between, of course, programs up the steps, preparing for a tournament, maybe.
Brent, I don't need to prepare for tournaments again. At my with my ability, you know, I just go into a tournament and the class shows. You know, that's the thing about it. Yeah, I have a 8-a-side tournament coming up shortly, Brent, and looking forward to it. I hope I stay injury free. I think that's the most important thing.
I would be surprised if you do.
Well, it's going to be a free kick for Malick. They trail by 3-1. They open the scoring. Very first attack of this game, a deflection, a shot coming from the skipper Lindell Batiste, and but after that, Presentation more or less came into their own. Here's going to be a throw for Prez. Of course, Brent, a little later we'll have to look at player of the match.
I think that's already been decided.
Oh yeah. I think we had an easy one at Sawo North, and I think we have another pretty easy one here, unless things change in the last 12 minutes or so. This is a good run from Matthews.
He's been good so far for Malick as well.
Oh, that's going to be a free kick. And that's going to be a yellow card for Cooper.
Is that his second?
No, that's his first.
Yeah.
Both central defenders now for Presentation have been booked. Cooper and George.
Yeah, he was quite late with that challenge, as we could see here.
He was beaten, wasn't he?
Totally beaten for pace. Sometimes I don't mind that, Colin.
You're taking one for the team.
Taking one for the team.
You probably took plenty for the
Colin.
team.
Never been that type of player.
Was that your excuse?
No, I'm not that type of player, Colin.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't see you enough. But a free kick for Malick. So there's a confirmation of that yellow card. The son of Sean Cooper. I nearly said the Sean of Son Cooper. But Sean Cooper's son, Cody Cooper, is going to probably get a few words from his dad tonight saying, well, you took one for the team, son. Don't be too worried about that. But presentation have been pretty steady at the back. Can they keep this one out?
That's poor.
It's not a good kick.
That's really poor.
Not a good kick at all.
And you talked about presentation being sturdy at the back outside of the goal that they've conceded. Malick really haven't created as much, particularly in this second half, clear-cut opportunities.
Yeah, they've not really. I mean, when you looked at Samuel up front, he was really all by himself at times. And a lot of the play was coming from the back of him, from the midfield, from Matthews, Brumble, Batiste. But they just weren't creating enough to give Samuels the chance to put the ball in the back of the net.
And even being 3-1 down, that pattern has continued.
Yeah. I think you made the point a little earlier, and it's so very true in terms of Batiste. Hasn't got into the game much in the second half.
No, and he was the catalyst in the first. And he's gone very quiet in the second half. And again, Colin, I have to point to whether or not fatigue is playing a factor, because they really put in a shift in the first half. And of course the weather changed a bit, so the feel is a bit heavier, certainly on the legs.
That's right, you're quite right about that.
And you just wonder if that's played a factor. But it's been a good showing, and when you look at the Group B that they're part of, San Juan North, QRC, Chaguanas North Secondary School, East Mokarapo and Trinity East, this would of course be the first defeat for Malick. But of course when you look at presentation, defeated Trinity East, Malick would feel they may be there and thereabouts in the conversation.
Well, here's Ford, but he gets it wide to Edwards. And here goes Edwards. He's got some speed. Well, that's a good tackle coming in the end. Really good tackle. Singh sends it downfield, but it's won back by presentation, but they give it right back to Malick. It's a long ball for Brumble. Brumble is giving chase. It's going to get there before George, and George does well in the end. Takes it off of him. Eventually Cooper sends it upfield, gets it to Edwards. It's going to go all the way back. It's it to Worrell. Able to turn with it is Edwards. Looking for Barkley infield, but it's won here by Malick as they come forward with it. Batiste switching the play to Halls. Still Halls in that center circle, just inside the presentation half. Turns, sends it nicely forward to Batiste. He goes wide. There's the ball as Malick coming forward nicely here with it and giving it away in the end. But still under some pressure is presentation until that tackle comes in on Ford and the ball goes all the way up to the keeper. We're in the final 8 minutes of this game. Sent down to Batiste. He can't control it. It's with Young. It's good football. This is Jones. That's a good ball to Boyce. Making the run is Edwards. I set a little too far forward. Edwards is going to get there. He's got some speed.
Whoa. Tell you what.
That's a crunching tackle. Think it's going to be a throw?
Well, he certainly wasn't keeping any. He wasn't taking any prisoners there.
So just about 7 minutes left.
You just wonder when you start to dissect this game from a Malick perspective, Colin, that penalty decision in the first half, how heavily has it impacted the flow of this game? I think for sure presentation college is good value for money. With this win, well, I could presume so with 7+ minutes to go. This might be a fourth.
Oh, there's Boyce having the shot on the turn, but ill-directed.
So yes, I just wondered how much that decision impacted in the result. Although it has been a completely different football game in the second half.
Yeah. Presentation certainly were totally on top, but one has to remember that they came back into this second half with the scoreline reading 1-1 all.
Correct.
Had it been 1-0,
Nil.
who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, you're right.
But this is Matthews. It's a good run from him, but intercepted by Worrell. Oh, he does get the better of Worrell. Still Matthews looking to play it towards Brumble. Brumble turning, twisting with it. He should have released it, but it's sent upfield to Ford. One back here in by David. He gets it wide to Singh.
That's risky.
Well, does well in the end, but he gives it away to Batiste. But his
oh boy, that's right on the edge. I tell you what, he's very lucky to escape the yellow card as well.
I was thinking that myself. He brought him down. Now he's limping, and he's asking for some assistance. It's Cooper, so he is down. But let's have a look, Brent.
Let's have another look at it here. Baptiste a bit heavy on the touch. That was very late, and I think if I'm Coach Bartholomew of Malick, I may be asking the referee, where's the yellow card in that play?
And if it was another yellow card, then Cooper would have been off.
Yeah, sir.
Well, he's very, very lucky. He's down now, but let's see, he's going to get some help. In the meantime, is there a substitution? We're seeing Malick looking to make another substitution. Who is it? It seems to be, not too sure who is the substitution for Malick. Sometimes in the meantime, Cooper is going to limp off. Is there going to be a substitution for him? Doesn't seem as if he's capable of coming back onto the field. I haven't seen any substitution going on for him. He's gone behind the goalpost. In the meantime, Malick, yes, Malick has a free kick, and Presentation just setting up the wall. And Cooper seems to be all right behind the goal, just limbering up. I think that injury could have stemmed, Brent. Maybe he was thinking he may have got a second yellow card.
I was thinking the same.
He said,
a clever way of escaping.
Yeah, let me go down here and let the referee have some sort of sympathy. But he's at the side of the field. I think he's going to go back on.
He's a clever boy.
Well, here is the free kick. Batiste with the kick.
That's a good,
straight into the hands of the goalie. Wasn't a bad kick.
Wasn't a bad kick. Did have power, but accuracy, of course, just wasn't enough to beat Lazarus in goal.
So, boys, your player of the match, Brent. I was saying boys. I don't know if you in agreement.
Yeah, full agreement.
Yeah,
and I think it's more than just the goals that he scored, but I think the way he has gone about his business as well. He's bullied, harried, and made it an absolute nightmare for Malick defenders. And his 2 goals here today certainly has been
very
the platform and instrumental, correct, in them getting back into the game.
Well, here's Young. Goes back to Jones. He's done well in the midfield as well. Levi Jones. I think he's had a good game.
This is a lot better from Presentation. It's a bit more composure. Just needs composure, really, Colin. It's amazing. I'm listening to some of the parents here in the stands, and they're yelling for them to clear it long. And I'm sure Coach Cooper is saying to possess it.
We see Cooper is, in fact, there is going to be a substitution for Cooper. So the coach's son is off with that injury, so he really wasn't faking, Brent.
No, he wasn't.
And the man who has gone on for him is Felix, Jibril Felix. But he's picked up a right back position, and Worrell has come into the center midfield, into the center defense. So just about a minute and a half left in this game, as Matthews coming forward with it, try to get it to Brumble. Loose ball goes to Young.
It's done well.
And in fact, Malick have a throw in. 3-1. They trail at this point in time. Malick.
Brumble's done well as well,
Yeah,
Colin.
he's had a good game.
It's been quiet since he's gone in the midfield. Boyce.
Well, free kick against Boyce. He's a real workhorse, isn't he? He's gone into that midfield and still running as if this was the first minute of the game. There he is, the captain of presentation. Just about 90 minutes coming up, and we'll have to wait and see just how much added on time there'll be. Kick comes, takes a deflection. It's going to be a corner. So Matthews is going to take the corner for Malick. Probably the last chance of them maybe to get a consolation second goal. And don't just try to have the scoreline looking a little bit more respectable. 3-2 instead of 3-1. So we'll just have to wait and see how much added on time the referee gives as that ball sent towards the far post. Lazarus comes, punches it away. Batiste trying to just get it over the top. Brumble sends it down to Matthews, trying to go in field with it. Still holds on to it. This ball hasn't gone out yet. Rumble. Oh, he tried to turn
pass
with
it.
Yep.
It's got to pass it. And those are the decisions that have really let Malick down this afternoon. Despite the work rate, just the quality. And Colin, when you talk quality, it's not just a good pass or good trap. It's a good decision.
That's right. There is the ball sent in field. Boyce can't get there in time. The shot comes, but just takes a big deflection. Goes out wide on that right side towards Felix. And the deflection takes it out. It's going to be a throw for presentation. So Felix with the throw. So we're just about coming up to 2.5 minutes of added on time. Just have to wait and see just how long the referee is going to go on for. Just as some of the presentation fans begging for one more. So the left-sided, right-sided corner for presentation. It's going to be taken with the left foot of Levi Jones. So there is Jones just about settling the ball for the corner. The shot comes, oh my word. That was a rocket coming in from Barkley. It took a deflection and came back out. But I tell you, had that been going goalwards, it would have taken some sort of saving. But that's the end of the game. The referee's whistle has blown to indicate that the game has ended in favor of Presentation College by 2-1. the goal scorers. A penalty from Barkley and 2 off the boot of Boyce, the skipper for Presentation. This was after Batiste gave Malick the lead in the opening session. So this is the full-time score here. Presentation winning the game by 3-1. Let's so there is the officials, and so let's have a look at the highlights as this was very early on, almost the first attack. Look at the deflection, big deflection, and going in off the key to the keeper's left. He had no chance. You certainly can't blame him for that. The shot coming from Batiste, the deflection was huge, and just like that, before you could have really settled in your seat, Malick was leading by 1-0, and Presentation slowly but surely started to get back into the game. Couple of shots, and here a penalty awarded where the referee felt that the player's hand was not in a natural position. Barkley stepped forward and he put it into the back of the net to give Presentation the lead before the half-time, and we in fact went in at half-time 1-0. But here was Boyce, who had another chance to increase that lead, and he got the better of the defenders, was through on the goal. You could see him trying to get it to the left of the keeper. He did, but he also went to the left of the post. So here goes Boyce again, getting the better of the defenders, but just ran out of acreage and took it outside. In the second half, Presentation certainly upped the tempo, and it was that man Boyce coming in field, dribbling his way past, and then just slotting it to the right of the keeper. He had no chance, and it was 2-1. And there's Boyce really picking up that ball and dribbling past 2 defenders, cut inside and pushed it nicely away from the keeper. And this time Jacob had the shot, the keeper couldn't hold on, and who was there? Boyce was there. He reacted before any of the defenders, and he just tucked it into the back of the net to make it 3-1. So there we have it. The man of the match is the Presentation skipper Boyce, and certainly well worth the victory and his double strike for Presentation. In the end, you have to say there's the shot coming from Jacob hitting the bar, but in the end, Presentation well worth their victory by 3-1. Let's have a look at the stats, Brent.
From the stats department, 16 shots on goal by Presentation College, 8 of those on target, 13 by Malick, 6 on target, 8 fouls for Presentations, 5 for Malick, 2 yellow cards in the game, both going to Presentation College, 2 offsides shared equally by both teams, 7 corners collectively, 4 for Presentation, 3 for Malick, 10 saves by both goalkeepers, 5 of those from Presentation, 5 for Malick, but the most important stat of all is Presentation College 3, Malick 1.
So that is the victory here, 3-1 by Presentation. Let's go down to Hans. He's got the coaches with him.
Coach Bartholomew on the field with me. Coach, what did you learn from today's game? What needs to improve? You were able to get the first goal, but unfortunately, Pres were able to get 3 back in.
First thing first, I give God all the praise and thanks and glory. You know that we were able to complete this game because these guys really unfit. Secondly, the goal that the CEEN is a penalty. Right now, the student is icing his arms from a peg. And none of ball hit him there, is the player feet.
All right.
What hit him there? That caused this penalty, that make a big change in the game.
Okay. All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Again, many things to be reviewed, but right now we speak to the winning coach for today, Coach Cooper from Presentation College. Coach, as we move forward, next game you play East Mokrapo, who were able to score 5 goals in their last game. Lessons learned, observations, things you want to change?
Yes, I'm pleased with the 3 points, but not with the performance. What I have learned is that we could come back from an early setback.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. We wish you the best moving forward. When we come back around our second game for today, St. Benedict's College go up against Carapachima East here at the Atto Bolden Stadium.